You lied today. Maybe you said, "I'm fine," when you weren't. Maybe you told your boss you were stuck in traffic. Maybe you just liked a photo you didn't actually like. You do this so often you don't even register it as lying anymore. It's just being social. But here's the thing, lying isn't a flaw in human character. It's a piece of technology, one of the oldest and most powerful tools your brain ever built. And the story of how it got built starts millions of years before humans existed, with an animal getting caught red-handed. Section 1, Before Human. In the 1980s, primatologists watching wild vervet monkeys in Kenya noticed something strange. Verves have different alarm calls for different predators. One sound for eagle, another for leopard, another for snake. Each call triggers a specific escape response. Climb down for eagle, climb up for leopard, stand up for snake. But researchers started catching individual monkeys firing off a leopard alarm when there was no leopard anywhere. It happened most often when a monkey was losing a fight over food. Scream, "Leopard," everyone scatters, and suddenly, the food's yours. The monkey wasn't confused, it was lying. Researchers later documented the same trick in capuchin monkeys. An animal would fake a predator alarm specifically when it was about to lose access to something it wanted. That's the earliest form of deception we can actually observe. Not a story, not a myth, behavior caught on camera repeating itself for a reason. Primatologist Richard Burns spent years cataloging these moments across dozens of primate species and found something that should sound familiar. The species that lied the most were the ones with the biggest brains relative to their body size. Not the strongest, not the fastest, the biggest thinkers. His argument, now known as the Machiavellian intelligence hypothesis, is that primate intelligence wasn't built primarily to solve puzzles or find food. It was built to navigate other primates, to predict what they do, to manipulate what they believed, and to stay one step ahead of everyone else doing the exact same thing to you. In other words, your brain might be as big as it is, partly because your ancestors needed to lie better than the guy next to them. Section 2. Why lying requires something specific. Here's what makes deception different from almost every other survival skill. To lie successfully, you need a very specific piece of mental software called theory of mind. The ability to understand that another creature has beliefs inside its head that are separate from reality, and that you can shape those beliefs on purpose. A lion doesn't need theory of mind to hunt. It just needs speed and instinct. But to lie, you have to model another mind, predict what it currently believes, and then choose your words or actions specifically to plant a false belief in there instead. That is a much harder computational problem than almost anything else in nature, and for a long time, scientists thought only humans could really do it. Then they started watching great apes more closely. Chimpanzees have been observed hiding food from dominant group members, waiting until a rival looked away before grabbing something, and even suppressing their own excited vocalizations during secret matings so a jealous rival wouldn't hear. Gorillas have been filmed hiding a threatening expression behind a hand, like a poker player controlling their face. None of this proves apes lie exactly the way we do, but it shows the raw ingredients, tracking what someone else can and can't see, and adjusting your behavior to control it, existed in our lineage long before language did. Section 3. Then language happened, and everything changed. For millions of years, deception was limited to what a body could physically fake: a hidden expression, a false alarm call, a well-timed silence. Then somewhere in the last few 100,000 years, full symbolic language showed up in our species, and deception got a massive upgrade. You no longer needed to fake a real event. You could describe an event that never happened at all. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar has argued that language itself may have evolved less for sharing survival facts and more for something closer to gossip, tracking who did what to whom, who could be trusted, who was cheating the group. And the moment you can gossip, you can also lie about the gossip. The same tool that let early humans coordinate a hunt also let them frame a rival for stealing meat they never touched. This created a problem that never existed before in evolutionary history: an arms race between lying and lie detection. If deception gives you an advantage, then the ability to catch a liar gives you one too. Evolutionary biologist Robert Trivers argued that this back and forth, cheat, get caught Get better at cheating, get better at catching cheaters became one of the central engines of human social evolution. We didn't just evolve to lie, we evolved paranoid pattern hunting minds specifically because everyone around us was capable of lying too. Section 4, when it shows up in a single human life, you can actually watch this entire evolutionary story compress into a few years inside a single human being. Developmental psychologist Kang Lee has spent decades studying when children start lying, and the data is almost uncomfortable. Around age 2, most children can already tell a simple lie, denying they did something even with the evidence right in front of them. By age 4, the majority of children lie regularly. And here's the part that surprises people. The kids who lie earliest and most fluently tend to score higher on cognitive tests. Lying isn't a sign a child is broken. It's a sign a child's theory of mind just came online. They figured out for the first time that what's inside your head and what's inside their head are two different separately editable things. And the second a human figures that out at 2 years old or 2 million years ago, lying stops being a possibility and starts being inevitable. So here's the whole timeline. Millions of years ago, monkeys were already faking alarm calls to steal food from each other. Somewhere in our primate lineage, brains grew larger, partly to get better at exactly that kind of manipulation. Apes learned to hide their faces and their sounds from rivals. Then language arrived, and lying stopped needing a real event to distort. It could invent one from nothing. And every single one of us relives the whole thing personally, usually around age 2, the moment we realize other people can't see inside our heads. That "I'm fine" you said today isn't a modern social nicety. It's the latest version of a trick that started with a monkey screaming leopard when there was no leopard because it worked. We didn't invent lying, we just kept improving it.